beaten. All right, guys, well, we have to look at some stories making rounds the world of the World Cup this evening. Live updates coming from the center where Mexico and Poland are playing. The game is goalless. And guess what? Barcelona forward Robert Lewandowski lost a penalty opportunity for Poland this evening. And that will also have a lot to talk about that team. Even at the World Cup, that'll be the first missed World Cup penalty this season, or this particular edition. And remember also today was Tunisia picking a point for an African team at the World Cup, picking up upon this edition against Denmark. Well, it is Mexico-Poland, 75 minutes of action. But remember, the next few minutes I'll also be hooking up with a female sports enthusiast. That is Infobank Toke Olaleye, who will also be joining me this evening, where we also dissect and look at how Hervé Renard was able to inspire Saudi Arabia to go all the way, pick that maximum 3 points against the Lionel Messi inspired Argentina side.
Been alerted to something that has happened on this near touchline against a player like this. It's Messi for Argentina. It's simple, it's easy, it's 1-0. And you rather suspect that Saudi Arabia are facing an uphill battle now. Who will be looking for a goal at the 5th World Cup finals when his Portugal side start against Ghana in 2 days' time. But they've worked the ball to Al-Shehri, who's got a shot on target and scored for Saudi Arabia. What a magic moment for the fans from the Middle East. The increase in movement and volume amongst those wearing green inside this state. Argentina defence after another bit of sloppiness. Abdul Hamid is back on his feet after a momentary slip. And Tagliafico difficult to contain. Al-Dasari! Oh my word! Who saw this coming? Down at half-time, Saudi Arabia lead against one of the tournament favourites, Argentina, by 2 goals to 1. And whatever happens tonight, you should... Any goals and are favourites for the tournament, or one of them. Messi helping it on, Lautaro Martinez returning it back to Messi. That's a brilliant intervention. Al-Tambakti has celebrated that as if he had scored.
Okay, guys, I just took you back to what happened between Saudi Arabia and former champions Argentina earlier this afternoon, where Saudi Arabia came from a goal down to beat Lionel Messi's inspired Argentina 2-1. A lot of yellow cards for Saudi Arabians in that one, and that was how it ended at the Lusail Iconic Stadium in Lusail. Well, we've got Infobank Toke Olaleye on the line this evening as we also look at what happened in the afternoon. Messi the GOAT got roasted. Good evening to you, Toke. What's good?
Good evening, young striker 9. I'm fine. Well, it was a different turn of events, I would say, because when you notice that the GOAT himself was how will I use this word? It was surprised in the hands of Saudi Arabia. And at the end of the day, they have been given a public holiday on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, by King Salman himself. So it gone way beyond you just having the past glory. You need to be continuous. Now, in the World Cup, nobody wants to be defeated by anybody. Everybody wants to make a mark. So that's what happened today. Saudi Arabia is trying to tell us that they've got the money and they've got the correct possession of ball.
I mean, before the announcement of the public holiday, if you check my status this afternoon, I posted it that, maybe Saudi Arabians will have to observe a public holiday tomorrow.
You predicted that.
Yes, and that happened.
That.
And with the story we're seeing here, all public and private sectors employees in Saudi Arabia as well as for students in all phases of education have been given Wednesday, November 23 as public holiday in celebration of the Saudi national team's victory against Argentina. Now, let's look at it from this angle as well. If you were to be Lionel Messi, what would be going on in your mind right now, Toke, if you were to be Messi?
Oh, well, if definitely for me, if I were Messi, the only thing I would say, I have scored goals before. I scored penalty.
Okay. But now let's also look at it. Now let's also look at, a lot of offside goals. I mean, scored. Lautaro Martinez, Lionel Messi as well. Do we say that it was a situation where Argentina wanted to score a lot of goals and they were not tactical enough against the Argentines?
Well, you got that right. They were not clinical and they were not tactical at the same time. Well, I guess it was this impression that is all that. We've been to the World Cup before. We can do this. Forgetting that people out there who have not really made a mark, we want to make a mark. And let's not forget that the atmosphere in Qatar will give Saudi Arabia the necessary vibe. So sorry, we won.
Maybe the atmosphere. But now let's Yorubas we say sorry for the loser. Is it sorry for the loser? Kuroju for the winner. Sorry for the winner. Anyway they put it, we move, right? We move. Now let's talk about the second game of the day that saw Denmark, Tunisia played out goalless, and for Tunisia, they were able to pick a point. Remember, an African side, Senegal against Netherlands. I mean, they lost concentration and they lost that game against Netherlands 2-0. But we saw a Tunisian side, holding down Denmark. Where's that motivation coming from? Remember, Hervé Renard has managed 2 African teams. Zambia, Ivory Coast won the AFCON with them. And Tunisia, now Tunisia, an African side, going all the way to pick a point. What are we trying to see here? Are we seeing records to be set and shattered?
Well, for Senegal losing yesterday, it's like Tunisia had the whole of Africa on their shoulders. So most definitely, they were ready to prove a point. Even if they were not going to win, they will make sure that Denmark was never going to score. And that was what they did. So I predicted it because someone asked me a question this evening. So what do you think is going to be? And I told them that it's definitely going to be a goalless draw. He said, why? I said, Tunisia will not want to be embarrassed. And they will say, Tunisia again. So they will give their all. They will do everything to make sure that Denmark doesn't really have that opportunity. And that's what they did. So.
Okay. Now, Toka, before I allow you go, right? Let's look at the last game of the day. It's going to be between France and Australia. It's going down 10 o'clock tonight. And looking at that game, no Karim Benzema, a man who showed out the responsibility of Real Madrid, winning the UEFA Champions League, winning the La Liga, winning the Ballon d'Or, and that game is going down at the Al Janoub Stadium in Accra. But what do you think Deschamps will be thinking right now? And are we not going to see another shocker, just like what we saw with how Saudi Arabia defeated Argentina?
Well, when it comes to France and Australia, it's going to be a tight game, I must confess. But let's talk about France first, just as he said. Now, for the coach, Dijon, he has said something. When Benzema had the injury, he said there will be no replacement. If you recall, this is a man who says that he's sure of his team. So let's look at this team. Away from Pogba, away from Benzema. We have Hugo Lloris, we have Lucas Hernandez, we have Jules Koundé, we have Griezmann, we have Olivier Giroud, we have Mbappe, we have Tchouaméni. Hello! He's got enough squad to make sure that there goes against Australia today. He's not afraid. Neither are the players afraid.
So you believe that it's going to be a total victory for Didier Deschamps' side tonight?
It might not be a total victory because Australia is not also a team that they relent. But at this point, they would want to prove that we will win without Benzema. So that's what we'll be seeing today. So it's going to be a tough game. Tough one. It will not be easy to predict. Look at what happened to England. Who knew? Because everybody did not even want to trust in Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
You understand? So anything can happen here tonight when it comes to France. It's going to be a must watch. But trust me, they are going to prove a point today. Although Benzema, the France team can still win the World Cup. That's what they try to prove today.
Okay, so talking before you go, let me ask you again. What national team are you supporting for the World Cup?
Funny enough, Senegal, because I'm strictly African. You can call me Mama Africa. But now, the disappointment is there. They don't abuse me, Saya, but I will still be Mama Africa. So if Senegal goes, I'm swapping to Tunisia. And let me just stick to Tunisia today.
Okay.
At least they got 1 point.
All right. Thank you very much, Toke Olale. Well, in case you want to follow Toke Olale on all social media platforms, it is InfoBanga, Twitter, Instagram, and she's always on Facebook Live as well. You can join her to also get everything sporty. Thank you very much, InfoBanga, for joining me on the show.
Thank you, Young Striker 9. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Okay, guys. Now, remember, you can jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM. Solutions 939 FM. There's a post there where we have Lionel Messi and a Saudi Arabian player battling for the ball. And the post says, one word for Saudi Arabia. Let us know the word you have for Saudi Arabia this evening. Remember, you can as well bust into the studio, get a studio line in case you want to call in. The phone lines are open. One word for Saudi Arabia, and most especially for France. Defending champions will be having their game tonight. Well, 0909-888-9939, 0909-888-9939, or 0912-222-2939. One word for Saudi Arabia, although Lionel Messi, Lionel Scaloni, who's also the coach of Argentina, they've come out to say that, well, they will just quickly forget the defeat today and move on, focus on the two other group games. But should Argentina fail to win their next two matches, that means it will be a difficult one for Lionel Messi, who's planning to bow out at this World Cup. Remember, with the way things are right now and the live updates we're seeing between Mexico and Portugal, the game is goalless. And if this happens to end this way, that means Argentina will be rock bottom of Group C of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. But let's celebrate Saudi Arabia, right? This is the national anthem of Saudi Arabia.
وارفع الخفاق أخضر يحمل النور المسطر رددي الله أكبر يا موطني عشت فخر المسلمين عاش الدليل للعلم والوطن سارعين للمجد والعليا مجدي لخالق السماء وارفع الخفاق أخضر يحمل النور المسطر رددي الله أكبر يا موطني عشت فخر المسلمين عاش الدليل للعلم والوطن
Okay, Okay, congratulations to Saudi Arabia, and let's just wait the next couple of games in that group. We move this evening, and let's talk more World Cup updates. Stefan Frappart became the first female official at the Men's World Cup in Mexico's Group C clash against Poland today. Frappart was one of the 3 women to be included on the list of referees for the World Cup in Qatar. The first time female will feature at FIFA's Showpiece tournament. The French referee served as 4th official in Mexico-Poland at Stadium 974, making history in the process. Well, live update from that side. It is still goalless between Mexico and Poland. Remember, Robert Lewandowski, the Polish forward who also plays for Barcelona, right there, the Spanish La Liga, lost a penalty opportunity. Well, let's keep talking about Frappart. Frappart has broken new ground before a female referee. She became the first woman to refer a men's Champions League game in 2020 when she took charge of Juventus' match against Dynamo Kiev. She has also taken charge of games in League On, the Europa League, Men's World Cup qualifying, and UEFA Super Cup final between Chelsea and Liverpool in 2019. Now, let's talk more football stories from the World Cup. Well, still extra time on your Remedy Dial Solutions 939 FM. Check the time right now. It is 6:49. And let's talk about Laura Sain, who will miss Germany's World Cup opener against Japan with a knee injury. This is coming from the German Football Association. The Bayern Munich winger was absent from the Diamond Shafts final training session in preparation for the Group E fixture at the Khalifa International Stadium tomorrow. The rest of Germany's squad took part in the session. Well, remember, Larry saying if he's injured, that means with the injury, it means that a lot of Bayern Munich players will also be looking at what is happening, because Sadio Mane, remember, got injured playing for Bayern, and he has been ruled out of the World Cup from the Senegal squad. But for Sadio Mane, for Larry saying, he's just ruled out of the first game, which is against Japan. Well, the loss of Sané, who has scored 11 times in 45 appearances for his country, obviously represents a blow. Head coach Hansi Flick does have a wealth of attacking options to choose from, with Serge Gnabry, Julian Brandt, Mario Götze, Kai Havertz, and Jamal Musiala, which a lot of people are now referring to the little Lionel Messi in the German national team. Now, talking about availability, Alphonso Davies has been declared fit by head coach John Hertman for Canada's clash with Belgium on their return to the World Cup group stage. The Bayern Munich left back's participation in Qatar was in doubt after he sustained a hamstring injury against Hertha Berlin on November 5. Now, Luis Enrique has expressed sorrow for removing Jose Goya from Spain's World Cup squad, but insisted he made the right call despite Valencia apparently claiming the left back's injury was minor. Now, but talking about politics at the World Cup, Belgium defender Jean Vertonghen was bemused by FIFA's decision to ban several European teams from wearing the One Love armband, an anti-discriminatory symbol at the World Cup. The One Love campaign, which promotes inclusion and sends a message against discrimination of any kind, has grown in significance ahead of the tournament in Qatar, partly due to the country's criminalization of homosexuality. It was the same message coming from Virgil van Dijk, who's the captain of the Netherlands. Now, let's talk about criticisms and what is spurring the Three Lions of England. Declan Rice believes the stern criticism England received ahead of the World Cup allowed them to play with fire in their bellies in Monday's 6-2 thrashing of Iran. Okay. Now, Christian Pulisic and Tyler Adams believe the United States have every chance of beating England, with their confidence having not taken a hit in Monday's draw with Wales. Remember, Gary Bell had to come with an equalizer after Timo Werner scored the opener. And, well, now let's move away from the World Cup, shall we? And let's talk more. Well, shout out to Leia Jetawo, who's watching live from Kwara State, in Lawrence, to be precise. Jordi Alba is determined to stay at Barcelona until his contract expires in 2024 and hopes he could still be reunited with Lionel Messi at Camp Nou. Spain left back Alba has his focus on the World Cup duties for the coming weeks, believing La Roja are well placed to challenge in Qatar with the first game against Costa Rica coming up on Wednesday. At the end of the last transfer window, Alba was linked with a shock move to Italian giant Inter Milan, but he said in an interview with Cantena that nobody told him anything about that prospect. Now let's talk about Pep Guardiola, a man who won the UEFA Champions League only with Barcelona, but failed to win it with Bayern Munich, and is still searching for that trophy with Manchester City. An update has it that Pep Guardiola is close to agreeing a new contract in Manchester City with the club. Now, confident he will extend his stay at the Etihad Stadium. 51-year-old Guardiola is set to pen a 2-year extension that will keep him at City until 2025. His current deal is due to expire in June. City have so far refused to comment. Well, according to reports, City executives jetted to Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates in the days following their last Premier League game before the World Cup break against Brentford. And Guardiola is also in the Middle East, and where he attended the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on Sunday. City players not involved in the World Cup in Qatar are due to arrive for a warm weather training camp on 5th of December. But remember, in 6 years at Etihad, he has won 4 Premier League titles and 4 other domestic trophies. But the club is yet to win the UEFA Champions League. Remember, 2021, they got to the final and they lost against Chelsea. Well, let's just move away this evening. Let's go back to the live update this evening from the match between Mexico and Poland. Live this evening from the Stadium 974 in Doha. It is still goalless between Mexico and Poland. Remember, Robert Lewandowski missed the 58-minute sports kick. But Sanchez yellow-carded, Moreno yellow-carded, and Frakowski yellow-carded. Those are the updates. 3 yellow cards in this game. But remember, tonight, France will be up against Australia. And, let's just quickly look at the likely lineup. Hugo Lloris, Pavard, Hugo Lloris in goal, Pavard, Konate, Upamecano, Hernandez, and backline Tchouameni in defensive midfield, while Griezmann, Rabiot will be in the midfield, Dembele, Giroud, Mbappe up front. But the question is, can Mbappe and Giroud have a good combination? But for Australia, they've got Goodwin, Duke, Leke up front, Ivan and Mark Gris behind them. While Moy will be in the defensive line, position. But for the other defenders, we've got Behic, Rollis, Sota, and Atkinson in the defense line. While Ryan will be the goalkeeper. Full time, whistle blown, Mexico 0, Poland 0. Goalless in this encounter between Poland and Mexico. Remember, I told you earlier, after the defeat for Argentina, it shows that Argentina is rock bottom of Group C after one round of games played in Group C of the FIFA World Cup ongoing in Qatar. But remember, tomorrow, Morocco, another African team, will be in action 11 o'clock against Croatia, a team that got to the semi-final of last edition's World Cup that lost against France. While Germany, former champions, will take on Japan. Larissana ruled out. Spain, former champions, will take on Costa Rica, while Belgium will take on Canada. That's the last game of the day. But guys, I have to drop the last card on the show this evening. My name is Oladapo Okunubi, and I'll be back tomorrow morning on Kickoff Sports Show on AM Update by 9 o'clock, where I will be serving you all the latest updates concerning all games. Like I want to say, keep doing sports and stay safe.
Keep it 93.9.
It's Kelpie vibes.
See, I don't look like waiting, I don't see. I will never forget the 90s. Many nights I go there beg for mercy. Sickle self me show me crisis. Thank you for the journey, oh Lord, oh Lord. If I say my story, oh, oh, oh. Fire can't school, I'm ever blazing. I roll deep with the Almighty. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. can't copy this formula. I hear 5-star Lanjo, I did try for myself. VIP no regular, can't copy this formula. Money in a filter, don't let them fool ya. Make your rubber, stack your paper. Let them know when you pull up, pull up. Man down when I pull up, pull up. I'll be a leaker, fuck the chaser. Bang, 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 Undertaker. They scared when I pull up, pull up. Yeah, roadman fear when I pull up, pull up. Only from me cartoon and I be rapping. Shout out to Agege, that city rape me. Ask my crew, then they love me, love me. Then call me AG, baby. Our government no get time for ghetto. We only get love on manifesto. I pray for my people. Ciao, ciao. I hear 5-star Lanjo. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula. I hear 5-star Lanjo. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula. I hear 5-star Lanjo. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula. I hear 5-star Lanjo. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula.
Feel it! Sorry, why I am 93.9 FM.
Yo, what's up?
Do not touch that dial. You know the radio you tune to, it's your Remedy dial, 93.9 Solutions FM. Your number one Remedy dial. What's
9, 3, 9. What's in my what?
Ọlọ́run sáà olúwa lọ́wọ́. Jẹ́ kí
gbogbo aládùn ọ̀yá o. Ní Adámímógó Jesus City Adámímógó Global Convention ti 2022. Láwọn ẹ̀kọ́ Ọlọ́run fi máa dẹ́díkéètì ẹ̀. Àkórí tí Ọlọ́run fún wòlíì Sáàmù Olúwarọ̀ Adámímógó fún ọjọ́ ayọ̀ ti 2022. Absolute deliverance. Láwọn èèyàn yóò fi máa jàjàbọ̀ nù àdúrà. Nípasẹ̀ ìgbẹ́. Pásítọ̀ Ẹ̀sùn Ọládélé. Ààrẹ fún ìjọ CAC Káríayé. Pásítọ̀ E.O. Ọ̀dẹ́jọ́bí CAC General Superintendent. Prophetess Sikaya Olúbóyè Ọládèjì. CAC General Evangelist. Pastor I.O. Ẹ̀yẹ́bíọ́kì. SCN Regional Superintendent. Bísí Aláwìyé Àlùkò. Bùkọ́lá Gádé Ṣẹ́wọ́lẹ́ Jésù. Ẹ̀sítọ́ Ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé. Ìlàjà Kẹ́tọ́lé Adéyínká Aláṣeyọrí. Wòlíì Sáàmù Olúwarọ̀ Adámímógó. Wọ́n á máa súre fún gbogbo èèyàn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ láyé one-on-one counseling máa wá o. Bàbá tí wọ́n nú àdúrà Friday 25 November. Ọjọ́ Sunday 4th December. La máa ṣorí ọ̀fẹ́ o. Ní Adámímógó Jesus City. Tó wà ní Ìbẹ̀jú Lẹ́kí Ẹ̀pẹ́ Expressway. Ìlàmẹ́jà Village. Beside Alaro City. Nílùú Èkó.
Ọlọ́run Kẹ́hìndé Àkàndé fẹ́ gba gbogbo ènìyàn lọ́wọ́ ogun. Ìwọ náà wá gba kọ́kọ́rọ́ ìṣègùn.
Ọlọ́run tó pe wòlíì Emmanuel Kẹ́hìndé Àkàndé bàbá kíkí ọ̀rọ̀ kan. Ó fẹ́ rìnrìn agbára nínú ọ̀rọ̀ àfiyèsí àti marathon service tó oṣù kejìlá o. Àkòrí tó fún ìránṣẹ́ lọ́rù Friday 2nd December àti ní kùtùkùtù lọ́jọ́ Sunday 4. Àánú máa yanjú ẹ̀. Mercy will settle it. Àánú ṣe tó fẹ́ dá sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ léyìí tó kù lọ́dún yìí. Pẹ̀lú àánú, a fẹ́ wá àyè fún ọ lóṣù kejìlá débi gíga. Kọ̀dà mọ́lẹ́mọ́ wòra rẹ̀ ràn. Darapọ̀ mọ́ gbogbo èèyàn lóru Friday 2nd December àti láago 9 òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ Sunday 4. Ọ̀pọ̀ ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run àtàwọn olórí ẹ̀mí ló ń bọ̀ o. Bàbá àti màmá kíkí ọ̀rọ̀ kan. Prophetess Dúpẹ́ Àkàndé pẹ̀lú Prophet Emmanuel Kẹ́hìndé Àkàndé. Wọ́n á máa sọ̀rọ̀ àṣẹ sáyé gbogbo èèyàn. Ẹ má gbàgbé Children Anniversary lọ́jọ́ Sunday 11th December láti Ìgboro tàbí Express. Olómi Academy ni ẹ máa bọ̀. Láti bẹ̀ ni ẹ ti gbé ọ̀kadà tó ń lọ sí Fádùsì. Ẹ sọ̀kalẹ̀ ń Christ People Bus Stop. Àánú máa yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ lórúkọ jẹ́.
Mo bá Jésù pàdé, mo dolórí rẹ̀ o. Mo bá Jésù pàdé, mo dolórí.
Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ọlọ́run yẹ ká lọ képe Jésù. Nínú pàdé májẹ̀mú alágbára ọlọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ yẹn ni o. Lọ́jọ́ Wednesday, bẹ̀rẹ̀ láago 10 òwúrọ̀ sí 12. Bishop S.R.M. J.B. Babadila ti ìjọ Christ Light Incorporated. Ní Ọlọ́run pàṣẹ ìpàdé àdúrà alágbára yìí fún pẹ̀lú àkòrí. Kígbe sí Jésù. Cry unto Jesus. Bartholomew kígbe pé ó gba ìríran ẹlẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Gbogbo ọ̀nà lóbìnrin oníṣun ẹ̀jẹ̀ yẹn gbà láti fọwọ́ kàn ọ̀rọ̀ wá gbogbo ọ̀nà. Ní ológun ẹ̀rọ àjàdí power line lọ́jọ́ Wednesday ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí. Nínú ìjọ Christ the Light Gospel Church Incorporated. Solution Prayer Mountain. Kíjẹ́ tún owó jù tún sọ̀rọ̀ ayé rẹ̀. Lábẹ́ ìfàmì òròyìn ọ̀pọ̀ wòlíì májẹ̀mú àti àwọn olórí ẹ̀mí tí wọ́n máa pẹ̀lú bàbá olùgbàlejò. Bishop S.O. Aremu JP bàbá Dìlá ìdí ṣiṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹlé. Ẹ sọ fún ọlọ́kadà pé àjàdí power line ológun ẹ̀rú ẹ̀ lọ. Ní Wednesday ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ni. Jésù máa gbọ́ ìgbé rẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ máa yanjú lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀.
Bàbá kókó ń tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n nú ayé mi o kẹwàá fàyè mi dára rẹ̀.
Ẹ̀rọ wìtìwìtì ẹsẹ̀ gírígírí. Lọ́rùn Friday. Ìyẹn Friday méje.